some amazing news for you. Guess what just released? My book. This is really exciting for me. This is the first book I have ever written. I can't believe I've actually managed to concentrate and focus on one thing for an extended period of time. It's quite a remarkable achievement for me. So as of right now, this book is available on CreateSpace, which is the website where I self-publish this book. It's gonna take about a day or so for it to be available on Amazon and Kindle, but if it's available right now, because I mean, I'm making this video yesterday technically, then I will put all that information right here or in the description box below, so go check it out. Maybe it's available right now on Amazon and Kindle, but if you just cannot wait and you're impatient like me, you can buy it from CreateSpace. It's the same price as Amazon. The only cheaper alternative will be on Kindle for $2.99, and that's just like an electronic copy. You won't have a hard copy of the book, but I like electronic copies. You save money and you don't have like books laying around everywhere. If you guys are interested in reading more about my life and about crazy stories that I can't really talk about on the internet because I could get sued or murdered. No, just kidding. I can't get murdered. Maybe. Crazy stalker story in this book right here. And I just hope that you all enjoy it and love it, because if you don't, I'll be sad. So anyways, I decided that today's video is not just going to be me introducing my book to you guys, but I'm actually going to be telling you a story that I left out of the book. So I'm just gonna go and tell you the story of the craziest ex-boyfriend I have ever had. Now, I talk about a lot of crazy ex-boyfriends in this book. I talk about abusive boyfriends, I talk about fake boyfriends, I talk about boyfriends that make you pay for their dinner on your birthday. I have dated a plethora of wrong guys, but this one wasn't really that bad. He was just crazy. But let's just start in the beginning of the story of where I met this guy, and of course, as I've met all my other boyfriends, I met this one on the internet, and you guys probably already guessed where I met this guy. Just say it. Just say it. Yep. MySpace. That was stupid. He was the rocker bad boy type. He had long hair, Led Zeppelin shirt, looked like he hadn't bathed in years. I was into it, and this guy and I started talking, and immediately we hit it off. We had the same sense of humor. He made me laugh. Unfortunately, this boy, who we shall name Steven, and he unfortunately, heartbreakingly, lived in Florida and I was in Connecticut. We were both going to high school, and so it already seemed like the odds were against us in this relationship. We had this huge chunk of miles between us, but we decided that we were going to try to make it work. We just had a relationship over the phone for about the first 3 months of us dating, and it went well. We would talk on the phone for hours and hours. Like, I would literally eat, sleep, pee, shower with the phone in my hand. We would send each other pictures, we would send each other packages, we even sent each other letters. It was like really adorable and romantic, and he was so very sweet to me, and he was kind of like a little bit obsessed with me. I was that kind of girl where, like, if a guy was acting crazy and super jealous and clingy, I thought it was a good thing. I liked it. I enjoyed that kind of attention from boys. Now I'd be like, okay, go check yourself into a mental hospital. I'll be right back. Bye. Okay. See you later. Never. Eventually the time came where me and this boy would meet each other, and I told my mother about this boy. I said, Mom, listen, I know it sounds sketchy, but I met this guy on MySpace, and he's not a pedophile, he's not a creep, he's not like 50 years old, I swear. We're gonna be meeting at the mall next week because he's flying in from Florida. I somehow convinced her to go along with this, and I like showed her his MySpace and how he looked. So she was like, okay, but your aunt is coming with us and you're bringing a friend with you. I had no other choice but to be like, okay, we have to go along with this. So I freaking brought my entire crew of people to the mall to meet this boy that I had never met before, that I'd maybe seen like 5 pictures of in my entire life. So my friend and I took off to Macy's, and we were in like the mattress section, and I'm just standing there so nervous, just like looking around, waiting for this kid to appear, and then suddenly there he is. He's approaching me, he's walking towards me. My heart is just beating so loud in my chest, I can almost feel it in my throat. And then before you know it, he's right in front of me, and I'm just like, whoa, you're a lot shorter than I thought you'd be. And he looked a little different from his pictures, which was kind of off-putting. But he was okay looking. I didn't really care because I had such a great connection with him and I really liked who he was on the inside that I really didn't care about like height or the way that he looked. It was the first thing that I noticed. It took some time, but we finally got comfortable and the whole like weirdness of the situation kind of dissipated. So we spent the next couple of days together. I ended up losing my virginity to him. And then he had to go back to Florida and it was heartbreaking and we cried. And I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna see you again. This is so awful. But we continued our online and phone relationship for another few months. And before you knew it, 9 months had gone by and things were not looking so good for us. The phone calls on his end continued. He would call me like 2 million times a day. And I, at this point, was kind of getting sick of it because I was in high school, I wanted to have fun, I wanted to go out with my friends, and it really bothered me that I didn't have my boyfriend around because I wanted to do normal teenager things with my boyfriend. I wanted to go with him to school dances, I wanted to go with him out for pizza, I wanted to go out to the zoo. It was really annoying having to be on the phone all the time, but he seemed to be okay with it. And my mom even started saying like, he is calling you way too much. He's like super obsessed with you. You need to tell him to stop calling you so many times a day. Eventually the relationship kind of fizzled out and I told him that unfortunately, because of the distance between us, I could no longer continue the relationship, and I was hoping that he wouldn't be too heartbroken or upset by it. Unfortunately, he refused to accept that the relationship was over, and he told me that he was going to find a way to move to Connecticut and that he was going to have it happen within the next month. And I didn't know how this was going to be possible because we were both in high school, we had no jobs and no money. So I was like, okay, well, you have fun trying. A few days later, he contacts me and tells me that he is on his way to Connecticut, and I'm just like in disbelief. I'm like, really? How did you get the money to go to Connecticut? You're in Connecticut right now? Why didn't you tell me any sooner? Where are you? Let me come see you. I miss your face. He told me that he was at his friend's house and that he couldn't come see me yet because he was busy doing something. And I'm just like, listen, biatch, you haven't seen me in like 2 to 3 months. You're at your friend's house in Connecticut 25 minutes away from me and you're trying to tell me that you can't see me? Well, he told me that the reason why he couldn't come visit me is because he, side note, he was a musician, was going to Boston to meet up with some record executives because he was going to sign some kind of music deal with his friend because they were going to join a band or something. I don't know. I was stupid though and I believed it. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I can't be mad at you for not coming to see me right away because you have other more important things going on. 2 days went by and he is texting me, calling me, telling me how he's meeting all these cool people in Boston and how he's going to be a famous musician and take care of us. I'm just kind of like, well, that is great and all, but I still haven't seen you and we have things to talk about, like, I don't know if we're together or not, and I don't know if you're moving here. I'm just confused. I really just wanted answers. And then a day later, I received an infamous phone call, which I will never forget. It was from his mother. And it was like 11 o'clock at night and she is on the phone with me and she tells me that her son is missing. And I was like, well, don't you know that he's in Boston? He's been there for like the past few days now. And she's like, well, that's impossible because he was here just yesterday. And my heart just drops, like, what? I just couldn't believe it. He'd been lying to me this entire time about being in Boston. He was in Florida, that little son of a bitch. So his mother told me that apparently that morning he had left and they haven't heard from him since. So a day passed, I tried calling his cell phone. His phone was off at this point. I think that he realized that he had been caught because I texted him a few times like, what the heck, I just talked to your mom. So he knew the jig was up. But you guys will never believe what this guy actually did. Okay, there was no record deal in Boston. He wasn't in Boston, obviously. He wasn't even in Connecticut. He tried to buy a car for like $200 and drive it from Florida to Connecticut so he could be with me. I wasn't even quite sure if he stole it or if he bought it. It was just so weird and so crazy. So after that, he gradually eased away and stopped calling me as much. It took me some time to get used to the fact that I was no longer in constant contact with him. It kind of felt like just like ripping a band-aid off of a wound. It was a typical breakup where I would cry at night and I would feel crappy and I would feel like weird because I wasn't talking to him anymore. Breakups are inevitable. They happen to everybody. Literally everybody goes through heartbreak. It's just like a natural process of life. And it sucks because it takes patience. You're not gonna feel better tomorrow. It's not like you're gonna go to sleep and wake up happy. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and feel miserable and want to eat an entire carton of Ben & Jerry's. Keep busy and surround yourself with people who make you laugh and make you happy. At that time, I had two really good friends who just would put a smile on my face every time I was with them, and I made sure to hang out with those people as much as possible. I'm here right now in front of you talking to you, and if you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to about whatever's going on in your life, pick up your phone and message me on Instagram or Snapchat. I am here for you. I'm like a 24-hour hotline, except not really because I have to sleep and shower and eat. But I try to be there for you guys as much as possible because I have also at times in my life not had people there for me, and I know how much it sucks. And one more thing before I go, this book I feel like is a really great handbook. I think this book is really great for young people who just like need to see things from an outside perspective, and I really hope this book helps a lot of you. And yeah, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you guys like the video and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!